stopping, homie, regardless. And I ain't stopping, no, I ain't stopping. I'm just getting started. Let's go. My skin is pale, but I'm a black sheep. Riding through the city, Satan in the backseat. Hey yo, that's me, I run it like a track meet. A rap fiend, I set the bar high like an athlete. Step in the booth and Zach gon' drop that 808. Cause the vibe is dope and the beat is cracking, now it's getting laced. I'm sharp as a razor blade, I can blow your mind like JFK. I do what I want, you ain't gonna box me in like David.
What's good, everybody? I'm Danny D-Lo, and this is Danny D-Lo Biker TV. In this episode, I want to talk about when we first started riding. What got us started in this beautiful world that we love so much. I'm kind of feeling some type of way for a reason, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. So I figured I'd take us back to where this all started, right here in my garage, chilling at my bar, talking a little smack to my phone, right? No mic, none of all that bullshit. Take it old school. Now this topic is brought to you by where I live at. About 3 doors down, I have a neighbor, and so this neighbor got himself like a little Yamaha or something, like a V-Star or something, right? Dude's kind of weird. Old girl, I mean, I think she kind of cool, I'm not sure, but I don't really talk to him much, but they've always been kind of, I don't know, not weird, but kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? And it made me laugh. The other day, I noticed that he got himself a motorcycle, right? And this boy been riding past my house every day, like, look at me, you know? And I had to laugh, man. It got me giggling pretty good. I'm coming down the road, I'm riding, and I look, and he's riding towards me, right, down my block. And they're both looking just, you know, bad to the bone, right? They got the serious mug on. They're all, you know, looking badass, right? And I had to laugh, man, because I looked over and I'm like, hey, what's up, y'all, you know? And they both gave me the most serious head nod I've ever seen, right? Like, they were both just like, it made me laugh. It had me rolling, man. And it made me think about, you know what? I was probably like that when I first got my motorcycle, too. When I first started riding and getting into this whole biker world and the making of being a biker, right? Now, I'm going to tell y'all my story. So, in Chicago, you know, growing up in Chicago, and any inner city, but for me, growing up in Chicago, crotch rockets was the thing. You know, sport bikes. And pretty much anybody I rode with, it was always Gixxter, all right, G6Rs. And I had a few Gixxters back in my day. And that's how I first started riding. My brother Jeff, he taught me how to ride. And I still use the same technique that he taught me how to ride. I use the same technique when I teach others. And, you know, I started riding the rockets and, you know, riding around the city and having fun with boys, you know, my boys and you know, hollering at females, taking girls for rides, doing all that cool stuff. Being a total clown, doing wheelies, doing endo stoppies, you know, doing burnouts, you know, racing down Lakeshore Drive, you know, the whole bit, right? That was our thing, you know, racing down Doty Road, down Ogden Avenue, the incinerators. All y'all from Chicago already know what I'm talking about. Chinatown, down on the south side. Like, we were everywhere, racing our bikes, racing cars, having a good time on the weekends. And, you know, that's what got me started into riding, you know. And the sport bike community is way different than the Harley community. You know, I will say the sport bike community, they really like to have fun. They don't take this shit so serious. They're out having a good time. You know, they're young. You know, they're young, they're vibrant. They're doing wheelies, they're showing off. You know, it's all about being cool. You know what I mean? Once you get into the Harley game, then things get a little more serious. And, you know, it's really not as cool as it was, to be honest with you. So, my first cruiser bike was a Yamaha. What was it? A Yamaha. No, excuse me. It was a Kawasaki Vulcan BN800. That's what I first got. That was my first cruiser. And to me, it was a Harley. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was the coolest bike in the world. And I was that guy that would dress the same color as my bike. You know, I thought I was looking fly as hell, right? I thought I was the coolest motherfucker since ice cream. And I was out riding, you know, I would ride the hell out of that bike, man. And what got me started on it was, so I had my brother's crotch rocket up here, his Gixxer. I sold all my bikes and stuff. And I had the bike up here, and I had first moved up here to Wisconsin, and you know, there was a bike blessing out of Milwaukee, and that's not too far from me. It's right up the road. And I said, man, you know what? I really want to do this bike blessing. But the tire on my crotch rocket, it was completely bald. It was ready to blow. Any like looking at it too hard would have blew the tire, right? So I said, you know what, man? I'm gonna take that cruiser out, because I had that sitting in the back of my garage, underneath the cover for like 2 years. I bought it to resell it, and it just stayed there. So I pulled that bike out, I jump started it, cleaned it up, put some fresh gas in it, ran like a dream, right? I rode that all day that day, and after that, that was it. I was a cruiser guy. Now I wanted a Harley. And I cruised that bike for probably 2 or 3 years, man. I had a blasty blast on that bike, y'all. Like, I had a really good time on it. I rode it everywhere. I had a lot of fun, man. But I noticed, like, being on a jet bike, man, it was weird, man. Like, you know, you ride with Harleys and you're like, yeah, you know, those are the serious dudes. They're the real ones, you know what I mean? And here you are on this Kawasaki, man. It just never felt right. So finally, after years passed of riding this, riding that, goofing around, I want to say about 15, 16 years ago, a good brother of mine who was kind of like my father now, gave me an opportunity to buy a bike from him. And the bike was all in, you know, milk crates, Walmart bags, Ziploc bags, boxes. I mean, it was a complete basket case. And it was a 1984 FLT, or excuse me, 1982 FLT. It was a shovel head. One of the Harleys that Harley forgot they made. And it was a cool bike. It was a really cool bike, man. I really liked that bike. And I put that bike together myself. I built it with my own bare 2 hands myself right here in this garage where I'm at right now. And I remember, man, I put that bike together. I painted it, had it all wet sanded, buffed it. I mean, it looked immaculate. It looked beautiful. As beautiful as the bike could look, right? And all I needed was a clutch cable. And I was waiting on that. So finally I got a clutch cable. You know, I threw a couple dollars together and I got that clutch cable. And I remember it was about 3 in the morning. I put that clutch cable on and got it all back together. Got the training case all back together, you know, the cover. I got it all together, adjusted my clutch. And at about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I took my first ride on my first Harley Davidson. And I can't even express to you the feeling, man. First of all, I built my own bike. You know, I'm not like all you new school guys, man. I didn't go to Harley Davidson and say, yeah, I want that streak light and this color, and bought my brand new Harley, and all of a sudden got all my Harley gear, my shirts, my gloves, my hats, my glasses, my chain, my earrings, my underwear, my socks, like some of you clowns do. And now you're a biker, right? I'm a biker, man. Nah, bro, I did it old school. I got my basket case, I built that bike myself, and I rode the hell out of that bike. I was proud of that bike. Even though I hated it, I was proud of it. I loved it. And anybody with a shovel head will tell you they hate them. Anybody that's owned one, I hated that bike, but I loved that bike at the same time. Because that bike taught me everything I know now. Between that and a good brother of mine, there's not a bike I can't work on now. I can build a whole motorcycle, and I'm thankful for that. I learned a lot with that bike because it broke all the time, man, all the time. Every time I was out, my front pipe, no, my rear pipe would fall off. It never charged. Like it just, it was a total piece of shit, to be really honest with you. But it was a cool bike, man. I loved it, man. I thought I was a cat's ass, man. I thought I was the coolest dude on the block. And I rode that bike for many years, and then all of a sudden I started, graduating to different bikes, and I've had probably 50 bikes since. 30 or 40 bikes I've had since. But, it was crazy, man. Like, to be honest with you, when I sit down and I really think about it, I think about, like, when I first started riding, that was the best times of riding. I wanted to go to other states and meet other people and talk with people and have a good time and, just have fun, man. But I don't know, man, somewhere throughout the years of getting involved in the MC community and hanging out with different motorcycle clubs and all that, it got too serious. And now my feeling of just taking off riding and getting lost for a weekend, go camping, stay at a hotel, whatever it may be, it's not the same anymore to me. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right unless I'm around the club, and it's sickening to me when I think about it, because like I said, man, when all of us first started, it was all about riding your motorcycle, man, and just having fun, and I love to ride still, even though I can't right now, but I love to ride my motorcycle. I love to hang out, have a good time, but it's hard to be around, quote unquote, the normal people, you know what I mean? Like, those of you that have been around the MC community understand what I'm saying. But I wanted to share this, and I wanted to talk about that because I just, I think that was the coolest times for all of us, when we first started. It was new to us. We wanted to do cool stuff to our motorcycles and work on them on Sunday with our bros and have a good time and have fun and take our bikes out riding and stuff. And it's so crazy, man. Like, as we get older, it slows down and it gets more serious. It's weird, man. I wish I could get myself out of it, to be honest with you. But I thought it was hilarious when I saw these two, this dude and his wife, man. They gave me the coolest head nod. They were so badass. It made me laugh so hard, man. They were all just like, sup. It was too funny, man. But I want to express my gratitude to all of you, man. So many of you have hit me up, emailed me, commented. So many of you have hit me up, wishing me well, asking me if I need anything. I mean, man, you guys are awesome, man. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. As far as my accident, excuse me, obviously for legal reasons, I really can't get into too much of it. But I can tell you that I'm here. I survived. It could have been so much worse, so I'm thankful that I'm here. You know what I mean? I am suffering pain in the back from when I got jolted backwards and I was up in the air. Like, basically I was sitting at a stoplight and, I was sitting there in gear waiting for the light to change. And next thing I knew, my bike took off without me and I was in the air backwards, flipping over, and my hands and feet were all up in the air. And I came back to, grabbed the handlebars, was like, what the hell? And yeah, a guy ran into me. He rear-ended me because he was on his cell phone. And so I guess part of this video, I really want to talk about safety. Always be in your mirrors, man. Always. My biggest mistake of my accident was I'm always in my mirrors. You know, the lifestyle I've lived and been through. I'm always looking at my mirrors. I'm always tilting my bars this way or that way so I can see inside of vehicles, see who's in them. You know, it's just it's the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always in my mirrors, man. Always watching my six. And I wasn't. I was turned this way, looking at my boy, talking some smack with him, goofing around, joking around with him, with my brother. And next thing I knew, I was in the air. You know, so I think one of my biggest tips I'll give, I'm going to do a tip video as far as safety. But I think one of my biggest things I want to express is always be paying attention and be alert, man. You can talk to your friends when you get to your stop. You know what I mean? Taking your eyes off the game for 1 second is all it takes to get ran over, hit, hurt, or killed. So be careful, everybody. Much love and respect to all of you new subscribers out here. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoying my content so far. I'm sorry to all of you. I haven't been on much. Like I said, I was recovering. My neck was obviously pretty bad whiplash. It's starting to get a little more unstiff. It's hurt a little bit. It still hurts a little bit, but not too bad so far. My back is the main issue for me. I see the doctor next week, and we'll see where we're going from there. But as of right now, nothing's broke. Nothing's fractured. So we'll see what happens. You know, we can't really tell anything just yet, unfortunately. So hopefully I don't have to live with this pain for the rest of my life. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for your wishes, your best wishes, happy recoveries and all that. You guys are awesome, man. To all my subscribers, much love and respect. I love each and every single one of y'all, man. So until the next episode, let's keep it real and keep it 100. I'll holler at y'all, man. Peace.